I've been waiting for a year to get this bike on the channel to show you guys. Today is a dream come true. Meet the Ristretto 512. From the incredibly torquey 6,000 watt peak mid-drive motor to the custom-made 52 volt Catalina battery with 30 amp hours of the best Samsung cells on the market. And let's not forget its beautiful and unique looking frame. Take it from me, there's not a single e-bike on the market that looks like this one. Actually, why don't we just take a minute to stare at it? Cue the B-roll. And I gotta be 100% real with you guys. Without you, none of this happens. I posted a video about a year ago about my 10 favorite moped-style e-bikes. Most of them I'd never ridden before, but over the year, the manufacturers and all the brands, they took notice. And you know what? Out of 10 bikes, we've gotten over half of them on the channel because of you. Because you watch the videos, because you comment, you tell me your opinions on the bike, you tell me which ones to get on for you. Some of you even comment just to say hi, which is great. So to each and every one of you that have watched a video, that have hit the like button, that have maybe shared the video with someone that you knew would fit a certain bike, and to all 30,000 of you who hit the subscribe button, thank you. You guys rule, man. There's no other way to say it. I hope you guys notice that I don't do any paywall content. I don't, do merch or sell stickers. I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about getting cool bikes on the channel and showing them to you guys. And I can only do that if you push the like and subscribe button. It's completely free and it takes 2 seconds. Go ahead. And guys, throughout the review, I'm gonna show you tests that you can see. I'm gonna show you how fast the bike goes, how well it climbs, how well it brakes, how quickly it accelerates. I'm gonna touch on a couple of things that I feel like, how the bike handles, how the bike's suspension feels. But everything else you're gonna be able to see. With the test I'm gonna show you, I couldn't bullshit you if I tried. So Ristretto makes the 512 in 2 different sizes. One with the 20-inch wheels like I've got here, and one with 24-inch wheels. If you're under 5'10", I would definitely recommend to stick with the 20-inch wheels. This lowers the seat a little bit, making it super easy to swing a leg over. And little secret, the 20-inch wheels are lighter and way easier to get up to speed. This makes this setup the fastest acceleration you can get. If you're near the 6-foot mark though, I'd recommend to go with the 24-inch model. This brings the seat height a little bit higher, making it much more comfortable for a bigger human to sit on. And the advantage you're gonna get with the 24-inch wheels is you're gonna be able to get higher top speed. So here's what a 5'9" person looks like sitting on it. Nice, comfortable. I can reach the ground flat-footed, no problem. And you can bring the handlebars towards you or away from you, depending on how far you want to reach forward. For me, this is a really good, comfortable sitting position. The bike itself only weighs 88 pounds, and when you add the battery, it gets up to 110. That's pretty hefty, but this will make it super stable at speeds. And while we're on the weight topic, this bike is built like a tank, so it has a capacity of 325 pounds. I chose to get the bike in the Black Mamba configuration, but there's 4 colors available. I'll put a link down here and a QR code for you guys to scan with your phone's camera to go check it out yourselves. Trust me, buying one of these bikes is a true experience. Check this out. Ristretto takes a lot of pride in building and delivering these bikes to you. Every single unit is meticulously put together, and they even give you the master key and the ID card for every single unit they produce. So why don't we go outside and I'll give you my first impression on what it's like to ride the 512. Before we test out the true top speed with the 512, I want to get used to it, right? This is a brand new bike. We're just getting to know each other. So let's do this. I'm gonna get a little bit of speed. I'm gonna go in level 1 here. Just lean the bike over. Just get a feel for how grippy the tires are. Oh yeah. man, these feel so good. The bike feels so heavy and planted. Like I feel like I'm just stuck to the ground. They're just like Velcro. It's so awesome. And the bike's long too, so it's super stable. Like I can't do this with a lot of bikes. Loving this thing so far. Let's take a close look at the contact points. Starting here on the right, you get a nice set of super soft rubber lock-on grips. You get a thumb throttle and hydraulic Tektro brakes. And on the left here, exactly the same lock-on grip. You get the master controller here that has your horns, your lights, and your turn signals. And over here is the remote for the computer. You get the power button up here. This will cycle through all the different modes. And these arrow buttons here will go up and down your power modes. So the bars you get with the 512 are kind of in between BMX bars and mountain bike bars. They're not flat like mountain bike bars, and they're not super tall like BMX ones. They're actually kind of in the middle. And they give you a couple bars in the middle here to mount some accessories. You can put an extra light, your phone mount, all that stuff will fit on here, no problem. Here's a close-up of the stem. It's not super short and it's not super long. This gives you the opportunity to swap it out for something shorter if you want the bars to be closer to you, or something longer if you want a bigger reach. And here's a shot of the bench seat. It's got a really low profile, so it keeps the bike standover really nice and low. And the padding inside looks like it's got a decent amount of support. Now, I know on their website, they do make some thicker seats. So if this isn't enough padding for you, you can get something much thicker and much more comfortable if that's what you want. And finally, the last thing you're going to be in contact with is the pedals. Now, if I'm going to be truly honest, I feel like this is the only part of the bike that doesn't seem to fit. Everything on this bike feels like such high quality, and then you get some plastic pedals. Now, I know this is just a place to rest your feet, but come on, they could have spent an extra 10 bucks and got something way nicer. So I want to take 2 minutes and talk about ride and bike quality. For a $4,000 bike, it feels like a $4,000 bike. It is extremely polished. The amount of care and attention Christopher and his team have put towards building these bikes is insane. It's as close to motorcycle grade quality as I've had on any e-bike. Let's start with the contact points. The grips are perfect. Lock-on grips, super nice, soft rubber compound. It sticks to my glove. They are perfect grips. I would never, ever replace these unless they wore out. The seat is okay. I probably give it like a 7 out of 10. It's not the most cushy seat out there. It's very sporty. But you know what? They do make a thicker one on their website. So you can order one and upgrade it. You can get a much more comfortable ride. If there's one thing I'd replace right away on this bike, it's definitely the pedals. The pedals are the cheapest plastic pedals I've ever seen. They definitely need to go. But you know what? That's a super easy upgrade. It's like 20, 30 bucks on Amazon. You can get a nice set of metal pedals with some metal pins in it, nice and grippy. Or if you guys want to see some really cool pedals, check out my link in the description for the Redshift Arclight pedals. They're by far my favorite premium pedals to put on an e-bike. They've got a super big platform, metal pins, and LED lights that self-configure themselves to be red or white, depending on if they're pointing back or front. Super cool. So a high-performance bike like this screams for high-performance tires, right? That's why I'm super stoked to see these mile-high 20 by 4-inch tires. The treads on them are actually super thick, so these will last for a long, long time. But these are definitely made for the road, so they're nice and slick all the way around. Check out the suspension on this thing. This is a D&M coil shock. You can adjust the spree load by winding the spring here. It's got rebound so you don't get bucked off the back. And the shock here is filled with nitrogen, which keeps it super fluttery on small bumps. And you don't only get one of these, you get two. Let's go see the suspension fork up front. So the nitrogen-filled coil springs in the back give you 40 mils of travel, but the inverted fork up front gives you 160 mils of super plush suspension travel. Not only that, but this fork has every single setting you could possibly want. Check this out. First, you start by putting in the right amount of air pressure in the air valve down here. And you gotta use a shock pump here. These go up to 400 PSI, so whether you weigh 100 pounds or 300 pounds, it doesn't matter. you can put the right amount of air pressure to give you the right amount of support. Once you're out on the road with the right amount of air pressure, you can make micro adjustments to the spring inside here with this preload knob. And finally, the right knob on the right here handles the rebound. This adjusts how springy the fork feels. You never want the rebound too fast because it'll just feel like a pogo stick. You want to slow it down a little bit so that the fork stays nice and composed. So why don't we go back outside and figure out how the 512 feels like on rougher roads. And maybe we can take it off-road. So the bike handles great on smooth roads. But what about when the smooth road ends and it starts getting really choppy? Let's see how comfortable this thing is. So there's a few potholes on this road here. I'm gonna try to stick to the rougher parts of the road just to see how the suspension works. Get some speed here. Okay, here's our first pothole. Like nothing. Really, really well done. This bike is just leaps and bounds higher quality than 90% of the bikes I review on the channel. It is so nice. It's just, you know, I know these bikes aren't cheap, but man, if you value quality and you want yourself a bike that's gonna last, right? That's not gonna wear out on you, look at something like this. Obviously, if you can afford it, but man, the difference between a $2,000 bike and a $4,000 bike is night and day. And if you're lucky enough or work hard enough to be able to afford it, you're not gonna be disappointed riding one of these. Trust me. Okay, let's see how it does in the gravel. So these are dual sport street tires. They're not designed for off-road use, right? They're nice and slick with some thick rubber on the tread. But oh man, this thing is insane. Oh. Okay, nobody around. Woo! I really shouldn't be doing this, but there's nobody here. I'm being super careful in the corners. I don't want to come up on anybody doing 30 miles an hour, you know. Woo! So the 512 is a bike after all, and yes, it has pedals, but oh, that's right, mid-drive motor. So the cranks will only engage when you pedal forward. Everything else is just free spinning. Check out this drivetrain, or lack thereof. There's no derailleur or anything back here to clack around and cause extra noise. All you have is a roller here that ensures that the chain stays on. And check out the setup up front. This is a dual chain setup. There's a drive chain here that's connected to the motor. This will spin the freewheel and engage the chain to make the bike go forward. And the rest of the chain that drives the back of the bike is fully guarded with all the chain guards you can think of. Even a really nice chain tensioner right here. All this is made out of carbon fiber and looks really, really nice. So I don't know why you would want to pedal this thing. It is a bicycle after all. It's got pedals. But I feel like those are kind of just for show, right? Just to make this bike legal on bike paths and, you know, gravel paths and things like that. There's a nice street mode in here that kind of locks you out at 20 miles an hour, super low power, just easy to maintain, easy to control. But why don't we test out the pedal assist modes? Because some of you weirdos out there might be pedaling this thing. I don't know who, but let's see how comfortable and how easy it is to pedal. I've got the bike turned off for power here, and well, there's only one gear in the back, so let's get pedaling and let's see what it's like. It's doable. I'm on flat ground right now, and you know, I'm pedaling the bike with no power, and it's no fun. Let's go to pedal assist 1. There we go. So this bike's got a torque sensor on the pedals, right? So like the more I push, the faster it goes. If I just ghost pedal, the bike's not giving me any power at all. So I have to push on the pedals to give me some power. The torque sensor actually feels really good. The issue is with the torque sensor and only having one gear back there is as you get going faster, you kind of run out of gears really fast. Like right now, I'm only going 15 miles an hour and I'm pedaling really fast. Like it's hard to keep up with the bike. And level 3, same thing. Like it's not gonna make me go any faster because I need to push against the chain to get some power from the bike when I'm pedaling. So obviously you're only gonna pedal this thing when you're going slow, right? Maybe when you're just getting going, or maybe when you're crossing the road just to show people you're on a bike and not a motorcycle. But after that, you're gonna use that throttle.
So here's the heart of the beast. This is a CYC mid-drive motor. Mid-drive motors are known for their instant torque, and this one is no exception. With this setup, Ristretto is able to pump in a max of 6,000 watts into this little guy. Let's go see how it climbs hills.
Man, am I excited to see how this thing handles the climb. You guys know what we do. First test of the day, fully charged battery. We're gonna do the hill climb. I've got it set in race mode, level 3, as much power as I can. I always start right here on my fire hydrant, and let's go throttle only. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my God. They told me this bike could accelerate fast. Jesus. 32 miles an hour before the hill starts, and it just keeps going. 32 miles an hour uphill. Holy. Okay, I've ridden a lot of really good bikes. I think this takes the cake as far as climbing ability. The torque with this thing is absolutely insane. They weren't kidding. Let's take it downhill, see how fast we can get going. All right, I'm just gonna coast here. It's like the motor disengages. Really nice. 35. I can still get power. 36, 37. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is gonna be fun. Let's go over to Test Drive Island, unlock this bike, and really see what its full potential is.
So this entire thing is driven by a 52 volt system, and Ristretto says that the 512 can get up to 40 miles an hour. Now I've seen this bike hit anywhere between 35 to 40 miles an hour depending on the size wheels it has. Again, the 20-inch wheels will give you acceleration, and the 24-inch wheels will give you a bigger top speed. So let's go back outside and test how fast this 20-inch version of the 512 goes with me sitting on it.
So mid-drive motors are known for their torque and acceleration, right? That's why I'm so excited to see how fast this thing goes. Look at this mid-drive motor. It's a dual chain setup, fully tensioned in the back. I can't wait to see how fast this accelerates. I always start right here at my lamp pole, and there's a driveway pullout just up ahead. All the fast bikes hit 20 miles an hour well before that driveway pullout. So you guys think the 512 is gonna do it? I think so too. I've got it in level 3 power, race mode. I'm gonna go throttle only. 3, 2, 1, go. 20 already. Oh man. My GPS is lagging a little bit, but I was hitting like 25 miles an hour before that driveway pullout. This bike is insane. Welcome to Test Drive Island, where I take all of my fast bikes for a test drive. This place is awesome. There's only about 4 or 5 homes, a bunch of farms. There's no cops, very little cars here, perfectly flat, so perfect testing ground for the Ristretto 512. Time to find out what we all want to know. Exactly how fast this beauty can go. Now on the website they say this thing can go 40 miles an hour. Will it go 40 miles an hour with a real size human on it? I don't know. Let's find out. But on our way up to top speed, why don't we test out all the modes? Check this out. Ristretto has their own app, and there's two modes for the bike. There's street mode, and then there's race mode. So in street mode, check this out. You can go into the settings and totally customize the throttle and pedal assist for both street and race mode. So you can set the throttle power level, right? So 6,000 watts is the most amount that motor will kick out. And you can set the torque levels in percentages. So why don't we start with the street mode. In low, you can get 250 watts. Look at that, like 250, 500, and 700 watts in high. This is in the street mode, right? So this will be very tame, very easy to control. If you're gonna ride this bike around other pedestrians, you wanna be safe and you wanna, stay within the speed limit. That's what you wanna do. So 20%, 40%, and 60% for our torque. So let's save that. And let's go back to our dashboard right here. And just for the speed tests, I'm gonna throw on my GPS pedal assist 0. No, sorry. Let's go. Level 1. Oh, 250 watts barely gets this thing moving. Okay. Probably get up to about 10 miles an hour. There we go. Let's go level 2. This is 500 watts. Very underwhelming, but you know what? If you're riding this bike around other pedestrians, you want to be safe and you don't want the bike to take off on you, right? So, okay, about 16 miles an hour. And let's go to level 3. There we go, and I can feel the power kind of like level off here at 20 miles an hour. So fully legal mode, you can ride this thing at 20 miles an hour anywhere. 750 watts, class 2 legal. But that's not why you buy this bike. You buy this bike to go full speed, right? Well, in areas like this where you can. So let's go back into the app. We're gonna shift into race mode. There we go. Let me show you the settings on this thing. In the settings here, modes and levels. Okay, so in race mode, here we go. So throttle power, 2,000 watts in low, 4,000 watts in mid, and 6,000 watts in high. I've got 50, 75, and 100% for our torque levels as well. I'm so excited. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna save this. Yeah, I know, no change. Let's go back into our dashboard and get our GPS. Let's start in level 1, see where that gets us, and then we're gonna go to level 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. The level 1's pretty tame. Getting up there. 28. Let's go to level 2. There we go, more power. 35. Let's go to level 3. 36. Okay, so I got 36 miles an hour here in level 3. They say this bike can go up to 40 miles an hour though. Am I missing something? Let's go into the settings. Can I just restore to factory default? Okay, so I've gone into the settings and I've reset everything to factory settings, and it got me a speed limit that's just a little bit higher than it's enabling me to put in, right? So I'm gonna save this. Save successfully. Now I'm in race mode, same settings, 50, 75, and 100% torque, and 2,000, 4,000, and 6,000 watts of power. Let's go back to our GPS. I'm gonna start in level 3 this time. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. The acceleration on this thing is insane. Okay, 37, 38.5. So you could probably hit 40 miles an hour with a smaller human on it. I mean, I'm 190 pounds, maybe 195 with all the gear on. You know, is it possible to hit 40 with a fresh battery? Sure. You know, I've already done a bunch of tests, like acceleration, a couple hill climbs. This is not a full battery by any means. So if the battery was 100% fresh and the top speed was the first test I did, I could probably get there. See, right now with voltage sag, I get 4 battery bars, and you know, it's not a full battery right now, but 38.5 is really close. I'm not choked to that at all. But I want to show you something most reviewers don't, and I feel it goes a long way to make a bike feel premium, right? To make you connected to the bike and just feel like you're one. Okay, I know it's cheesy, but it's just how it is. How responsive is this throttle, right? A lot of bikes out there, you're gonna push the throttle, and then once you get to a certain spot in the travel of the throttle, then the motor, you know, kicks in, and then you start getting power. Good throttles, especially the full twist throttles, you actually have a lot of control over the amount of power. You want a little power, you just twist a little bit, and you want mid, you go in the middle. You want full power, you just pin it, right? With a thumb throttle, a lot of them are just on off. Hopefully this one's not like that. Let's test it out. I'm gonna start getting going here. And then let's just inch along, there we go. So right now, I'm like at the very beginning when it starts to move, and I'm getting a very little amount of power. And I'm in level 3. I wanna go in the middle. There you go, middle amount of power. And I'm gonna go all the way down. Oh, oh, it always catches me off guard how much frickin' power this thing has, but really nice. And it's instant. Like, there is zero lag between the time you push on the throttle and you get power. Look at this. Like, it just feels so good.
Man, look at these brakes. Ristretto's not messing around here when it comes to stopping power. The 512 comes equipped with 4-piston Tektro hydraulic brake calipers front and back. And they bite on to some of the biggest rotors you can get on the market right now. 203mm rotors. This setup should give us a ton of bite and braking power when it comes to slowing this thing down. Most of the braking grip and power happens up front, and Ristretto knows that. That's why they outfitted the 512 with the little bit smaller 180mm rotors in the back. But you still have a nice, super strong 4-piston caliper back here.
Here's how we're gonna set up the brake test. If you guys have seen any of my videos, I always come right here. It's one way to keep everything on board. And if you guys are trying to compare performance between bikes, this is the only way to do it. I know it's just the same all the time, but you know, consistency is what you guys need to make an educated decision. Here's the marker I wanna stop at. I've got about a 20-foot distance to the first marker, and yes, I know it looks way bigger than 20 feet, but it's the GoPro. Trust me, I've measured. Here's where I'm gonna slam on the brakes with the Ristretto 512. We have a lot of things on our side today. Beautiful day, dry pavement, really, really high quality tires. nice thick rubber, and they're nice and soft. They're really gonna grip the ground. And then on top of that, you throw these 4-piston Tektro calipers biting onto 203 mil rotors up front and a 180 mil rotor in the back. How good is that? That's as good as it gets as far as brakes go. These are Tektro brakes. They're super easy to maintain. You've got a bleed port here. You can put your funnel in, get rid of any air bubbles that build up over time. Super, super easy. Low maintenance. Good performance. Well, let's see what the performance is like. I'm gonna turn around, and just to keep things fair with other bikes, I'm gonna shoot to go about 28 miles an hour into the brake test, right? Most e-bikes have about a 28 mile an hour top speed, and that's kind of what I gauge the braking performance with, right? I mean, that's the only kind of constant I can keep, or I have control over. So let's look at our GPS here. I'm gonna try to go, there you go, 25, 27, 28, 29, 28 miles an hour, and brake. What did I tell you? Right? Like, I still have another bike length to go. Oh, man. Like I was telling you earlier, the difference between a $2,000 bike and a $4,000 bike is night and day. This is a masterpiece. And as far as braking's concerned, everything that's happening here on the 512 definitely gets a check mark for me. Whoosh. So while I'm heading over to set up for some beauty shots, I just want to talk to you guys about the features with this bike and, you know, potential upgrades you can do. So obviously they make two models, right? The 20-inch model and the 24-inch model. I opted for the 20-inch model because I'm short and I like acceleration. The 24-inch model goes faster, but it has a higher standover with the taller wheels, right? So if you're a taller rider, I'd say over 6 feet, go for the 24-inch model. If you're a smaller rider, I mean, even if you're 6 feet, you could fit on this one, right? So if you value acceleration and you know, want as torquey of a bike, the 20-inch model is where it's at. But have a look at their website, man. They have so many cool accessories for these, from full-blown windshields to they make a rear rack that you can put like a nice hard trunk in there. You know, if you're gonna use this thing for traveling or for commuting, it'd be nice to be able to put your backpack or whatever you needed for work in there. You know, take it, go do some groceries, right? A lot of cool options. The other thing they have on there, and these are new, they started making upgrades for this bike. First thing they did was made a more cushy seat. That's definitely something I'm gonna order. The seat that comes on the 512 right now is fairly thin, and you know, I don't know if it's just because it's brand new, but it's a little bit stiff. I kind of wish there was, like, you know, another inch of cushion in there. So that's definitely something that I'm gonna look at ordering. The other thing that you might wanna order is the new battery. They just made a new 72 volt battery. It says it can take this bike all the way up to 60 miles an hour. Now go check Christopher's website. He does have a few videos on there. He's made a bunch of really cool videos, just really documenting the whole design and, you know, how this bike came to be. Really, really well done. Love seeing all the videos that he posts. So I've been looking into this bike for a long, long time. And speaking of batteries, these are some of the coolest batteries on the market.
So this is an electric bike and nothing happens without this guy. So let's take it out and take a closer look at it, because this thing is truly something special. First, we're gonna unlock it, take the key out, and then we're gonna wiggle it out. Go. Whoa. So this suitcase battery is truly one of a kind. Take a look at this thing. Here's all the information for you nerds.
And check out this feature here. It's got an opening here for an air tag. So with the battery locked in the bike, there's zero chance for a thief without the key to know that this thing has an air tag in it. Finding your bike if it was ever to get stolen is going to be super easy with this. Ristretto says on their website that you can get anywhere between 45 to 100 miles of range with this battery. So why don't we fast travel to the end of my ride to see what I actually got for range with a 512. Okay, range report. I've been bombing around my house trying to drain this Catalina battery. I've just hit the last bar on the screen here. Out of 5, I'm at the last bar. My battery voltage just dipped under 50 volts. And if I look at my distance, I'm now at 35.9. So call it 36 miles. Now, can I get another 5 to 10 miles out of this battery? Probably. Am I going to push it? Probably not. So time to call it. I'm gonna head home. Check this out. Even on the last battery bar, this thing just goes. So man, if the Ristretto 512 sounds like it's the perfect bike for you, check out the link in the description. It'll take you right to their website, or even better yet, you can scan this QR code here off your screen and your phone will go right to their website. I haven't negotiated everything with Chris yet, but hopefully I can get a little discount code for you guys to help you save some money. And the bikes are in stock right now. You can order yours and get it within a week or 2. It'll be the best move you ever make, trust me. This thing is awesome. And if for whatever reason the Ristretto 512 is not the perfect bike for you, that's okay. Maybe the bike in this video will be more of what you're looking for. I'll see you over there.